Oh, yeah! You know what time it is. That's right, it's time for the Eddie and Webby Podcast! Yo, I'ma bust out some theme song action for you. Check it out. The Eddie and Webby Show is fun for all. We drink craft beer and mostly talk about pickleball. So if you didn't know, now you know. 'Cause it's time for the Eddie and Webby Show.
On today's episode, Eddie and Webby recite the entire Dumb and Dumber script. This is the Eddie and Webby Podcast.
Quiet on the set, and action. Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 84th podcast.
Oh, yeah, episode number 84.
That's right, Webby. It has been a little while. It's been since early February since we've done our last podcast. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. No, it's been a very long time. I feel like, this is a whole new experience again for us.
That's right. We got to relearn everything. Got to shake off the nerves. But it's all right. I'm excited. I'm excited for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it's always fun to be live, and it's always fun to have a good guest join us, which we're going to be introducing here shortly. Right, Webby?
Yeah, that is correct. We have an awesome guest joining us tonight, and going to be a very fun show.
That's right. And guys, I always say this. We are live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. And this show is meant to be interactive. So if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please throw them down below. And who knows, you might even be able to ask a question to our amazing guest that we're going to have on the show later today. So definitely want to make this interactive. We are not going to be doing Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby after the show today. So it's just going to be the podcast. But you're going to like it. I promise you. Right?
Yes, you are correct. You're definitely going to like tonight's episode, and I'm excited for it.
That's right. Webby, as always, I want to know, the world wants to know, the universe wants to know, what in the heck is going on in Twitter?
Oh, man. Yeah, Twitter has been blowing up like crazy, like more than ever before. I've never seen it blow up so much. It's just insane how much it's blowing up. Yeah, the Twitter sphere just can't stop talking about Eddie and Webby, and to prove it, I'm going to read a few tweets, some random tweets that I just happened to read on Twitter right now as I pull up my handheld cellular telephone here. This first one is from Steve Brule. Eddie and Webby, big props to Eddie, not Webby, for live streaming Pro Singles Day of the PPA Florida Grand Slam Tournament. Great job. Yeah, I agree, Steve. Eddie did do a great job. That was awesome. And like that whole thing was crazy because that was not even planned for you to do that, was it?
No, it was like 1 p.m. the day before when I was already in Tampa and I didn't have any of my live streaming equipment. The Connor asked me if I wanted to live stream singles, and I ran to Best Buy, picked up a few things, and threw it together. And honestly, yeah, I was pretty impressed at how it turned out with so little notice. Sometimes I guess the whole big show isn't required. So it ended up working out pretty good.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, I was very happy you did that, and I saw a lot of great feedback online. A lot of people loved what you did. I thought you did a great job considering that it was not planned and you just slapped stuff together to do it. But, I mean, sometimes it's all people want. They want to see that singles action, and that was awesome action, and that was great.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for that tweet, Steve. Here's another one on Twitter from Dink Tracy Morgan. At Eddie and Webby, does Eddie even play pickleball anymore? We see plenty of videos featuring Webby playing quite poorly, but we never see any gameplay footage from Eddie these days. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could play a little bit more. I haven't done many tournaments at all. I'll be playing in the U.S. Open, so that's good, and I do play a little bit, but yeah, my time has been spent more on working at pickleball events than it has playing in them. So I promise you'll get more footage here in the near future.
Nice. I look forward to seeing that. And he took a little jab there at me, saying that I have played quite poorly in my videos, and I can't disagree. Especially in the most recent Webby versus Everybody, I played against John Sincola, and I did bad. Even necessarily that John played way better than me because he played left-handed the whole time. I mean, he
Yep.
definitely played good. I just played very bad. I had the yips hardcore. I couldn't even serve the ball. It was pretty sad, to be honest. It was pretty frustrating and embarrassing. Not gonna lie.
It happens. It happens to
Yeah.
the best of us.
Yep. Unfortunately, it just happened while the cameras were rolling, so it makes it even more embarrassing. So, but anyways, let's move along. Let's do one more tweet here. Here's one from Teddy Murphy. Did I see Webby wearing a new style of Eddie and Webby t-shirt on the last couple podcasts? Well, as a matter of fact, Teddy, you did. And I recently reached out to Joshua Cook because I know he's done a lot of great designs in the pickleball world. And I wanted to get a new design out there that blends our love of pickleball, beer, along with the Eddie and Webby logo. And he came up with this awesome design right here for anybody tuning in on one of our video platforms. Check that out. This is a drink coaster. And yeah, it looks like my camera doesn't want to focus perfectly on it. But anyways, it's really cool. I can guarantee you that. But that's a drink coaster right there. I'm wearing one of the new t-shirts right here.
Nice.
And,
Looks good.
That can be found on our Teespring merch store.
How
And
do
one
you
more
access
thing-
that?
Oh, well, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you asked. If you go to eddieandwebby.com/store, that should take you there, right? I think that's the right website.
That's right. Do it up.
Nice. And last but not least, I want to show one more thing. I recently learned that ProLite does custom pickleball paddles. So I reached out to Neil Friedenberg of ProLite, and he helped me get this new paddle created that I'm absolutely loving. Check this out. We got Pickleball
yeah.
for Life on one side, but if you flip it over, it's got our new logo, the new design that I showed earlier. There it is. Cheers. At the top, Eddie and Webby, pickleball paddles at the bottom. I'm absolutely loving this design. I love this paddle, and you will probably see it hanging up on the wall in the background on future podcasts.
It looks good. Good stuff.
But man, enough about me. I feel like I've been talking way too much to start this show. Let's get the show on the road. Why don't we?
Well, let's do it. There's one more thing though that I do want to talk about here before we bring our guest on, and that is, are you going to be enjoying a beverage tonight, Webby?
As a matter of fact, I am. I already have it poured even.
Okay.
That's how thirsty I was. I couldn't even wait. But this one comes from our friends over at New Belgium Brewing. This is Voodoo Ranger American Haze. And I am drinking it out of my brand new Eddie and Webby pint glass with the new logo, as a matter of fact.
Love it. That's great.
So, cheers, my friend.
Well, I haven't been feeling the greatest lately, and I'm going to decide not to drink alcohol on tonight's podcast. So I am actually enjoying a nice craft ginger beer by Reed's, made with real fresh ginger, and it's extra.
Nice.
So it's got a little extra bite to it, and it's delicious, and it helps settle your stomach. It's really nice.
Very nice. I've had that before. I love it.
Yep.
I like making Moscow mules with that
Yep.
exact ginger beer. But yeah, cheers. Here's to a good show.
Cheers. That's right. Well, guys, we won't keep you in suspense any longer here. Our guest tonight has been consistently popping up on the professional pickleball medal stands in the recent future. I have heard his last name literally pronounced 30 different ways, so I'm probably going to butcher it now as well. But please welcome to the show, Jocelyn Devillier. How you doing, man?
Hey, good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. So how did I do with the pronunciation of the last name? Because honestly, I want to leave the show tonight to where people know without a doubt how they're supposed to say your last name. Can we do that?
You failed.
I failed? Oh, come on. I thought I did so good.
Wait, can I give it a try? Can I try
Yeah,
it? Because
Yeah,
I think
Webby.
I watched and studied a video that you did a while back, and I think I got it. I haven't tried it in a while, so I hope I don't butcher it now that I put myself on the spot here. But is it Devilliers?
Webby did very close. That was unbelievable.
Nice.
Yeah, very good.
Jay
Yeah,
Devillier.
Eddie, yeah. I'm sorry, but Webby was better.
Yeah, all right. So again, Devilliers.
Devilliers.
All right, we're going to go with that. Yep, that sounds good. Well, welcome to the show, Jay. We're so happy that you could join us here today. Before we kind of dig into your past and ask some questions, it sounds like maybe we actually have a contest that we want to put together. So, Webby, I'm going to bring you back on here. What is the contest we're going to be doing tonight, and what is it that the contest is for?
Oh man, this is pretty exciting. As everybody knows, we love getting our viewers involved and being interactive during the show. And thanks to Jay, we are actually going to reward a lucky viewer tonight and give away a free paddle from Vulcan. And I think Jay just so happens to have the paddle with him. There it is.
Yeah,
So
a V5
lucky-
V560, the one
very
I'm
nice,
using.
very nice looking paddle. But yeah, a lucky viewer is going to win that paddle, and all you have to do to be eligible to win is ask a question for Jay. And if we show the question during the show, I am going to pick my favorite question of the night. So the question that I think was the best question from a viewer tonight is going to win that paddle.
There you go. So all you have to do is ask a question. If Webby thinks it's the best, you are going to be the winner of that new Vulcan paddle. Can you show that again? It's kind of a sexy looking paddle, man. I like it. It's kind of black, and what is that, like a gray or almost like a dark purplish color
Yeah,
on
it's
there?
like and it's just very nice because you have the two design. There is a one also a blue and green that is very nice, and that's for the power. And the control is also a different graphic.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. The colors are very nice.
That's cool, man. I like it. I love what Vulcan's doing too. You know, with their new paddles and everything. So when you pick out a paddle, do you prefer more of a power paddle? Do you like a control paddle, a balanced one? Like what's your sweet spot?
I tried, I think probably like 10 or 15 paddles from Vulcan. From the 300 series to the 500 to the 700, and it was hard for me to find the perfect product. The 520 was so good for control, the 530 is so good for power. The 720 was good, but it's just something was missing for me, and they came up with the 560, and since then it has been the best paddle for me. So what I really look forward into a paddle is to be able to put both of my hands for the back end, to be able to have more in singles, especially for the passing and everything, and for something balanced between control and power. I'm fairly tall, so I can generate quite a lot of power. So I just want to still have something that generates, but also give me control. So it was not easy to find that, and they made it happen. So I'm very happy to be with Vulcan.
That's cool. So you obviously have a tennis background. Do you feel like that paddle really suits you because of your tennis background and also your size?
Yeah, I think so. Coming from tennis, the paddle was so small, and the sweet spot was also smaller. So it was tricky for me. And I used to when I started, I played with Engage, the Maverick, the long one, and it was a weird. It was generating a lot of power, but the sweet spot was not great. And then I was looking for something in between, and Vulcan really listened and managed to do that. And so I think that's what it's better for me, because it gives me more reach, and it's similar to a tennis racket as well. And already with my height, it gives me a bigger advantage, I think.
That's cool. How long did you play tennis before kind of switching over to pickleball? And while you're answering that, do you still play tennis ever?
Yeah, I started playing tennis when I was 4 years old, so it's been a while. And tennis made me travel a bit all over the place. I went to Spain to do my high school degrees while playing tennis in a tennis academy there in Barcelona, and then I went to Wichita State University, and again through tennis. So tennis has been a big part of my life. So I still play. I still enjoy playing. I'm just not, putting the effort as I used to do, the hours and practicing and things like that. I just teach for fun, and I just love to be on court still, but more like for fun. I compete in pickleball. I play for fun in tennis now.
But before college, did you primarily play over in Europe?
Yeah. Mostly. I was mostly trying to play futures. To future is like this baby step to become a professional, and it's like where you start getting first points, your ranking and everything. So I played futures mostly in Europe. Try to play nationals, make some money to be able to travel, and then when I was struggling a bit and I got this big injury in my back, so I decided to go to college, and then from there, just play D1, and that's how I came to Wichita State.
All right. So was that the first time you had been to America, or was that when you finally made the move here?
Yeah, it was a bit weird how I decided to come to the US, because I didn't want to go to college. I felt like going to college would be a way to say I'm not gonna turn pro. I'm just gonna play college and be done. And my wife, that wasn't my wife at that moment, decided to go to college, and she played at FIU, and I went there, and I was like, okay, that's something I should consider. I was so reluctant about it. I was like, oh my goodness, they have everything. It's so great for practice, travel, and yeah, that's how I decided to come. And then yeah, it was in March 2013. In August 2013, I decided to go to college at Wichita State. So fairly quickly, I just made the switch right away. I changed my mind and said, college can be fun.
Yeah, can definitely be a good time. What made you choose Wichita then? I mean, it's obviously it's like in it's kind of in the middle of America, right? And it's obviously they have a great tennis program there. But was there anything else that drew you to it?
Well, to be fully honest, it was not my proudest moment at that moment, because I didn't know much about America.
Right.
I had been to Florida. I saw what Florida was like. I had seen a lot of movies and things like that about America, but I was looking for something where I would get a full scholarship, a full ride. And most colleges, I didn't know that. I was really my English was not good at all, first of all. So when I was talking to coaches, it was a struggle. But Wichita was the first one to offer me a full ride, 100%, which was actually not accurate, but the coach sold it to me like that. And I had different schools, better schools as well, that were offering me lower scholarship, which was good as well. But I just didn't understand what they meant. Like sometimes they were offering me 85%, 90%, which was full tuition, but
Right.
living on your own and things. But I didn't know. I didn't understand. I'm like, oh no, I'm not going. I need something where. And so Wichita State, just the coach there, which is not the current coach, the previous coach, just sold it to me, and he told me it was the perfect place to practice. The city was great and everything. So when I came, I was a bit shocked. I wished I had done a big, more research on the town and the program and everything. But it turned out to be a great experience, and it's a city that really grows on you, and I got to love, the people around that have been so involved with the program,
Yeah.
and I'm still friends with a lot of them, and they made my experience so good, and that's why I'm still in Wichita. But when I came there, the first year was pretty rough, I have to be honest.
Well, I'm sure it must have been quite a shock to you. And when I asked that question, I wasn't saying anything bad about against Wichita. I've never been there, but I've heard it's fantastic. I'm just saying that it must have been quite a shock where you came down, to
Oh,
Florida,
it was a shock.
and then to Wichita. It's two very, very different places, and obviously very different than Europe, where you spent, your time growing up in.
Yeah, and I flew from Paris Charles de Gaulle, which is a top 10 biggest airport, to Chicago,
Yeah.
which is the top 5 biggest airport, to
Right.
Wichita, that had 6 gates, literally 6
Right.
gates.
Yeah.
And I was like, which terminal am I on? And they were like, what what are you asking here? There's only one terminal, 6 gates. I was like, whoa, yeah, no. It got bigger. We have 10 gates now, but yeah, it's still fairly small. But again, like it's a city that is great. And it has been so great for me and my family. So I'm happy to be here.
Well, obviously, it's got a solid pickleball scene now too. Can you talk about when you discovered pickleball and what that was all about?
Yeah, it started, I think by memory, 2017. I think the first time I hold a paddle. It was Jack Oxler that reached out to me. He was preparing for US Open with Matt and Lucy, and they needed a fourth player, and I played with them. And I remember I didn't really like the sport because I wanted to serve and volley, didn't let bounce, and it took me a while,
Yeah.
probably about 25 minutes to stop serving and volley and trying to close the net. But I was like, oh, this is not a sport for me. But again, in 2018, I was looking for a director position in tennis, or like at least head coach position, and in New York. And I had my wife we had a kid as well on the way, and it was just like a lot of things were happening. And Jack Oxler was a director at Chicken and Pickle in Kansas City, and he told me there is a new one opening in Wichita. So, and I was again not very interested, but Jack is really, he loves pickleball, and he just showed his passion, and he told me just come to see in Kansas City how it is. And when I went to see how it was, and I was like, oh, that's the place to be. So I went to the interview, got the job at Chicken Pickle as the director of pickleball, and then from there I just started playing more and more, seeing the top players, and I thought, why not giving it a try, and so here I am now playing full time.
That's great, man. And it's funny because the experience you had when you first started is similar to what I see a lot of tennis players go through when they first start. That's uncomfortable for them. They're like, oh, I don't like this. This is totally different. It's a different skill set. But then something happens, and it might be 30 minutes, it might be 3 weeks, it might be a year. That switch flips and they become addicted. And it seems like that's pretty similar to what happened with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, what really addicted me was how competitive players were. When I started playing, I played few small tournaments, and I did well right away, playing 5-0s local, and it was fun, but it was not what really caught me. Like when I went to the US Open for the first time in 2019, and I saw the fire of the top players, I was like, oh wow, that's competitive. It's like, it's a bit like tennis where people are fighting and they want to win, and it's not like just pickleball where we're here to play. So for me, that's what I was still looking to compete, because I couldn't do that in tennis anymore, travel and things. So I was like, oh, that's something that might be interesting. And I think a lot of players like that when they see that aspect, that it's not just playing to play and it's actually competitive. Tennis players get really involved, and they get addicted, and they see that it's not that easy.
Right.
So
that's cool. Well, let's talk about one of the partnerships that you have, and that's Pat Smith, right? You guys have been playing together for how long now?
Well, probably mid 2019. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're coming up on almost 2 years, right?
Yeah. It was tough. All the players were committed to each other. They knew each other. They didn't really know who I was. I was just coming up. So I was thinking the best way would be to bring another tennis player into the play and try to, just shake the world a bit and show them that we can play. And I tried to convince a few of my teammates that didn't want to play, and Patrick was like, yeah, I will play. And since then we just kept playing and got better, and he's committed. He's committed too. So it's fun. It's really fun.
That's cool. Well, as you know, we like to go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say, because Patrick and I played tennis, before pickleball as well. So
Yeah.
we were friends for that. So yeah, it's been a friendship that has kept going, and I'm glad that we're doing that together now.
That's cool. I'm going to want to dig more into that friendship you have with Patrick. But as you know, one thing that Webby and I like to do is we like to do a pros asking pros segment. And we're changing it up a little bit now to where we're trying to get maybe less pros and some more in-depth questions. So I actually have 3 questions from your buddy, Pat Smith, and I'm going to go ahead and play them right now. Here's question number 1.
Ça va, mon ami. There's no way that I would ever not submit a question or 2 or 3 for you when you were invited on the Eddie and Webby show. I would never, ever let an opportunity like this slide. So my first question for you would be, we talk a lot of nonsense. We don't take each other too serious. In particular, you like to mess with people. So I think the people want to know what actually goes on in your head up there, whether you play pickleball or just in general life. My first sense is clearly there's 3 monkeys up there raging havoc, and whatever you do is one of the monkeys winning. So so what's going on up in your head?
Oh, that's funny. It's true. I like to joke around and enjoy life. I've been through rough moments in my life, and one thing that always made me go through those tough moments was to laugh and always have fun. Try to have fun. And so it's true that I like to joke, and when I'm playing, I'm here to compete and do my best. When I'm not competing, I'm here to have fun and enjoy life. So I tried, Patrick knows that. He's just messing a bit, but it's important, I think, for everyone to find positivity in life, and that's how you always go through, tough moments, I think.
That's well said. And I mean, it shows, obviously, when you're out there in the pickleball court, you're there to win, but you can tell you also enjoy it and are having fun and have a very positive spirit about it. And that's contagious too. I'm sure that helps those around you as well, which is nice.
Yeah, and I have to say that my wife is very supportive to this as well. I think it's really a mindset. It's you that set that mindset, and the day I started doing that, I feel like personally I've been a better person, and I've been a better person for my entourage as well, with my family, and so I will keep doing that and trying to bring joy to everyone.
I like it. We have question number 2 here from Patrick Smith.
My question number 2 would be, you are from France, you're from Europe, and generally when you grow up there, you speak multiple languages. You and I speak a lot of little tidbits of different languages while we play. But my question is, how many languages do you actually speak? Now, the caveat here is speak correctly, because I know for a fact that your English is not one of them. In particular, when it comes to names, you can never keep your opponent's name straight, i.e. Callan Johns or Colin Dawson. So, yeah, how many do you actually speak correctly?
I don't think I speak any correctly. This is a problem when you travel all over the place. You don't speak proper French. You don't speak proper Spanish. So I survive. That's what I do. In each country, I find a way to survive. But he's right, though. English is probably my worst language out of there. I don't know. It just doesn't come naturally for me. I have to push on this one.
Well, obviously, we don't have any problem communicating, but what are all the languages that you know?
Well, obviously French is my native language, so that's the one I speak best. Spanish would be probably second, and then after it's the rest. The struggle is real after.
Okay, that's cool. And then what was the whole thing about Colin Johns and Callan Dawson and getting them?
Yeah,
Is that-
Callan, Callan, I don't know, because I didn't know Callan very well. I had seen him play only once in Newport, so I knew about the Dawson family, but I didn't know about Callan, and I kept calling him Colin, and so Patrick likes to joke around, and he was just playing the game, but his name was Colin, and so I kept calling him Colin, and he's like, no, it's not Colin, but I called him probably like 3 or 4 times, Colin. Nice shot,
Yeah.
Colin. Nice shot, Colin.
That's funny. I love it. I love the dynamic that you and Patrick have too. And in fact, we have one more, the final question from Patrick Smith.
My third question and final question for you is, in regards to your singles play, you've beaten it pretty much everybody so far. And but when are you going to beat the almighty Ben Johns? You've won some peg fests, some peg wars. Arizona, you hit him more than he hit you. But when are you going to beat him in a game? 2 out of 3 games and take home the W? What would it take for you to do that? I personally think stop being so French. Stop eating so much cheese and drink so much red wine, okay? Lose a couple pounds and you can run a lot longer. No, but in all seriousness, man, it's been an absolute amazing, fun ride playing with you. And I'm so excited to see where this journey is going to take us even more. One thing's for certain, it'll be a lot of fun for everybody involved. So congrats on everything, and give them hell, man, especially Eddie and Webby. Bye.
That's another good question. I'm asking myself the same. When? Probably when he's gonna be injured or something. But I'm still fairly new to the game. He has been playing for a long time. He's very smart. His IQ of the sport is really great. For me, he's one of the most methodical. He really studies the game well, and I think that's why he's probably at the top of the game. And I like that. It's forced me to be better, and it's a challenge. So hopefully this year I will find a way to beat him once. I don't know. Hopefully.
How many times have you gone up against Ben in some of these top tournaments?
Well, this year I played him in Mesa, where I took a game, but he found a way. Then he beat me also in Tampa in the final of the winner bracket. You were streaming that. So,
I was, yep.
And I was up 9-8, and he's just, again, he finds ways. He's a clutch player. He's smart. He analyzes very good. So I don't know, probably 3 or 4 times I've played him. My first time actually at the US Open, my first tournament I played there was against him in quarters. But I think that's it. Oh, in Chicago also, he put a good beat up on me. Chicago.
Okay.
You probably remember that one.
Yep, I remember that one. That's good. Hey, you know what? You got to have goals, right? And I mean, obviously, he's at the top for a reason. So he's a tough player, that's for sure.
We're coming.
Good. You hear that, Ben? He's coming for you. He's coming for you. I love it. Well, we've had a ton of stuff come in on social media, so I'm actually going to kick this over to Webby for a minute, and Webby's going to go over some of the questions that he's been getting from the audience out there.
Oh, man, we have had a ton of questions coming in. This is going to be a tough decision for me to choose my favorite because we've had a lot of great questions. So I think let's get right to it. So we just had Pat Smith on asking you some questions. We actually had a couple questions that are related to you and Pat. And this first one is from YouTube from Chad Lesates or Chad Lecates. I hope I didn't butcher it too bad. But he says, who can bench more and who can squat more, you or Smith?
I've actually never lifted with Patrick, but I'm pretty sure he can bench way more than me. He's working on the upper body a lot more than I do, But somehow I think I could squat more. But I don't know. Again, I really don't know how strong is Patrick. I mean, he does CrossFit. He puts a lot of time into his body. Taking care of his body more than I do. I have the kids in the way. That's my excuse. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I would definitely see him being stronger than me for bench, and I think I would have a chance for squatting.
All right, all right. Chad actually had another question that I thought was really good that I want to bring up here. And he says, how do you relax and unwind after a brutal 3 days of pickleball tournament?
Yeah, that's a good question. What usually I do, I'm usually traveling the next day after the tournament. So I'm traveling. I try to do a lot of stretching, massage as well. Sometimes when I had long days, and then I try to review my matches as well, just to get better for the next tournament. That's my mindset. Always try to move forward. So bad day I rest, but the next day on usually the tournament finishes on Sunday. So on Monday I'm traveling back. I'm doing all this, and then on Tuesday I'm having a light practice, or I'm teaching tennis or pickleball. So that's what I do.
All right, nice. Thanks for those questions, Chad. Here's another question from YouTube. This one comes from the Eric, and he says, Jay, you and Pat are my favorite team to watch. What changed this year in your skills or strategy to get you at the level with other top teams?
That's another very good question. Well, I think the strategy is one thing that changed for us was understanding the teams, how they play. I give you an example. Why is Ben so good? Why is Tyson playing well with Riley? Why this? How do they do that? What do they do well? What can I do in my game? Like analyzing a bit all around and see what works for us and what doesn't work. And I feel like Patrick and I, because of our friendship, I can tell him things that I might not be able to tell someone else, and he's the same way. And we could disagree because he's tough. He's very proud. He's a very good player, as you know. And I sometimes we don't agree, but we always find a way to work together, and we want to be better. So I feel like the key is for us was to really find a way to work together and read the other teams and play them better to be better, and so far it's been working, so we're going to keep doing that.
Very nice. This next question is from Facebook from Wendy Steiner, and Wendy wants to know, Jay, what is your favorite shot to take?
My favorite shot on the pickleball court.
Either that or alcohol. I'm not totally sure. You can choose which one you answer.
This is what I was a bit but anyway.
I'm assuming pickleball, but go ahead and say the alcohol after the pickleball answer.
No, for pickleball, I liked, I mean, a lot of players know that I like to have fun on court. I like to do funny things. So my favorite is probably around the post. Sometimes even when it's the riskier around the post is, the more I'm gonna try to do it. So I think that's probably my favorite. Yeah. But
nice.
on the weekend, the tequila shot is pretty nice too. But
nice. Well, thank you, Wendy. This next question comes from Kyle Worthy, and he wants to know, Jay, what is your biggest accomplishment outside of pickleball?
Well, with sports, I would say being a hitting partner, that was something very very nice for me. Because I felt like I kind of fell into my dream to become a tennis player and a professional tennis player. So being able to be on those big courts, playing with other players, was a big accomplishment for me, sport wise. But the biggest accomplishment is probably my family and my kids. Like honestly, this is what brought me the most joy, and it's just like that's for me. Whether when things don't go well, whether it's in sport or life, the family is the most important. That's how I see things. So.
Nice. Well, it's funny you bring up your kids and your family because we actually have a question here from Lauren McLaughlin, and
Hmm.
she says, "Okay, here is mine, Jocelyn. After this last weekend of having your wife and sons along for the trip, first, has Alexandra recovered yet? And second, will you ever put your wife through that again?"
You know, okay, so Lauren, this was her choice. Um, yes, she was awesome, absolutely awesome. We had this long day. On Saturday. We came at 7 a.m. and we went to the final with Patrick until 7 p.m. So she was on a 12 hours journey with the kids. And she's just a champ. But it was her decision to be at the side. I told her, if you don't want to be at the side, that's totally fine. But she knows what it is. She was a tennis player. She played high level, and she wanted to be there, and it's just nice to have him there. But it's also challenging. I don't know if we are gonna do that every tournament, but when it's driving distance, I will probably do it again.
All right, nice. Like I said, we have a ton of questions. I'm just going to read a couple more for now, but everybody keep them coming, and we might get to some more later. This next one comes from John Russell, and he says, Jay, what advice can you personally give to players who are a few months in and wanting more of a challenge? How do you find competitive games or talent that made you get better?
Um, you know, Personally, what I did, I didn't have we don't have that much player in Wichita. We have good players, good 5-0s and everything, but it's a lot of them are working. It's busy. So the key is, from my perspective, is to always try to get better. Try to get better, see what you're doing, and work on it from you, because I learned through tennis that whether you play with a better player or a worse player, you got to be able to perform. And it's easier to play good with someone that is better than you, because obviously if you're better, you want to put up the work and everything. But when someone is worse than you have the tendency to be more chill and everything. And that's where if you're really practicing, that's where you got to be able to still be the best player on court. For me, when I'm trying seriously, and we are on four on the court, I try to be the best player. If especially when I'm working with players that are worse than me, I or like getting better and things. I want to make sure that I'm still the best player there, and finding ways to do that. And I think that's how you get more competitive. And then when you play with better player, you just see where you're at. And for me, it has been working. We have this small league at Chicken and Pickle, but he's not like a tournament or something. Like it's just something fun that people do and compete and do their best. And for us, it's great. Patrick plays it with someone different. I play with someone different, and we just compete against each other. And many other players are getting better and better. And that's how it is. That's how, at least for me, that's how it works. You get better with that.
Very nice. Great question. Here's one from Karen Driggers, and Karen wants to know, I have heard you played many sports growing up. What would you say is your all-time favorite sport?
I did play a lot of sport. I played soccer is soccer, football, le vrai football, the true football. But soccer is probably my favorite team sport. It's just I grew up playing a lot of soccer, so that. But I don't have any favorite sport. I just love doing active things. So skiing was big part of my life as well, and I love skiing. So skiing and soccer probably up there. I can put tennis there because I did that too much, and it was like sometimes tough. So I would probably put soccer and skiing.
All right. Very nice. And I'm just going to read one more question from the audience for now. And this one comes from Shaylin Cairns. And Shaylin wants to know, do you enjoy playing one event over the other, mixed, doubles, or singles?
No, no, I enjoy every event because it's different, you know? I feel like singles, the thing I like the most about singles, I'm the only one on court. I can blame only myself. I love doubles because obviously I have a good partner, but he's a friend as well. But I love to play with different players and I love to see their style. I love to learn from them. And mixed is something also that is so untraditional. Like it's, where you have to take more, you have to be smarter, strategies. I don't know. I feel like every event has something, and for me, I'm just glad to be able to compete. So I don't enjoy one more than the other. Just different.
Okay. All right, very nice. Well, thanks for all those questions, everybody. There's been a whole bunch more questions than that. Those are just a few of my favorites so far. So any question that I read from the crowd so far, you are all eligible to win the Vulcan paddle. So stay tuned till the end of the show and find out who I pick as my favorite question of the night.
There's been a lot, Webby. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you picked.
It's gonna be
there.
hard.
There's been a ton.
Yeah, it is not gonna be an easy decision. I feel like there's a lot more pressure on me tonight than I thought there was gonna be, but it's all right. It's all good.
Pressure is a privilege. Come on, Webby.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's great. I love it.
I like that. And I got to tell you, Jay, like we've had, I don't know if this is the most questions we've ever had on our show, but if it's not the most, it's quickly working its way to become the most questions ever that we've got.
Yeah, definitely up there. It's definitely up there. And I would not doubt if it keeps going the way it is, it's absolutely going to be the most we've ever gotten in one show.
That's crazy. I love it. Let's get stuff. Well, you're not off the hook yet. I still got some more questions.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
To be able to go
I'm
through.
here for that.
So I want to talk a little bit about last weekend at Delray Beach. Obviously, you played in all three events. You walked away with silver in men's. Is that right from last weekend?
Yeah, men's doubles. Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
let's
you.
talk about that men's doubles match because it seemed like it was a little bit of a battle, and I don't mean like a battle with like playing pickleball. I mean a battle as if people were getting hit with the ball. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, we had a great final against Ben and John in Phoenix, ending up, losing the last two sets 15-13, 15-13. So this time we didn't want to fight for that long, so we tried to go at the body and hurt them. It didn't work, but we were trying to be more aggressive and get them injured. That was a strategy coming up.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like perhaps Colin took a little bit of a beating in Delray Beach, right?
Yeah, no, it was actually a funny situation, but not funny.
Yeah.
Just because it was the first point of the match, and the shot was just so clean from Patrick, so clean, right where it should not be. But and it's funny also to see. I don't know if you have the video of it, but to see the reaction of his brother Ben.
Yeah,
and
I don't. And so just so you guys know that are listening, so this is the first point of this was the medal match, right?
Yeah,
and
for gold.
And Patrick hits one, and it hits Colin Johns square in the junk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just and the look, and I should have pulled up the video or the picture of it, but the look on Ben's face was such a younger brother, right? It was epic. It was kind of like,
oh, it was. That's why I laughed. I felt bad for going, but I had to laugh. Yeah, it's just like, because it's a bit Ben's, I would not say fault, but like he the ball, he went to Patrick at the wrong moment, and Patrick was just ready and just, it just happened. And it was funny. Yeah, it was funny because Colin was fine after that, and he could play the final perfectly. So that's what made it fun. But on the moment it was pretty scary when he went, when he did his time. So I was like, I hope he's okay.
How long was he down for?
I don't know, because he didn't go down right away, but then he just like, I felt like the pain was growing on him a bit, and it took probably 5-10 minutes, I would say, before the play started again. So it was some time. He had to lay down for a few minutes.
Yeah, which totally relatable. We've all been there. Any male out there has had that happen to them, and you lay down for a minute, and then the pain goes away, but it takes a little bit. It's not a very pleasant moment, but I got to say that was quite funny to see. I did feel horrible for Colin, but I think Ben's reaction was hysterical. It's such a brother move, right? I mean, I could see that happening with Webby and I. We're like brothers basically, and if that happened to him, I would totally be cracking up.
Yeah.
For sure.
If Patrick would have been hit like this, I would be on the floor dying. I mean, I would be. People would not know if it was me getting hit or him, because I would be laughing.
So funny. That was cracking me up. So what tournaments do you have coming up? Are you going to be coming down for the U.S. Open?
Yeah. So before the U.S. Open, I'm actually going to go to Newport Beach, and then it will be U.S. Open after that.
Okay.
So.
And then
no singles in Newport, just doubles and mixed, and then U.S. Open will be playing the free event, including the senior and the age thing. Yep. So
who's your partner for that?
Peter Smith. I thought the Smith team was working, so I just kept on the Smith.
And Peter and Patrick, similar first names too. Apparently you have a type, right?
Yep.
That's funny. And then we've talked to a couple pros. I think it was Lauren Stratman and Leah Jansen. They said that they had somewhere of like 20 plus tournaments they were playing this year. Do you know what your projected total number of tournaments for this year is going to be?
I'm not sure. It's really going to depend on how I do. For now, I'm set until end of June, beginning of July. I'm still working on it. I know a lot of players like to do their full calendar and everything, but for me it's a bit different with the kids and my situation at home. I need to figure out before how I'm going to be able, how many tournaments, how I'm going to be able to do. So I just planned 6 months ahead, and right now I'm actually currently working on my schedule from July to December. But I'm thinking of playing a lot of APPs and PPAs as well, and including US Open. So I'm probably going to be, close to 20, I would say. Yeah.
Is that the right? So I always wondered what the magic number is. Is it, because 20 is almost 2 a month, right? And that's a lot. Do you think that this sport is going to get to the point where like once a month is the right number, or maybe like 16 a year? Like, what do you think?
I don't think so, because, I always compare it to tennis from my perspective again. Pros are traveling way more than us in tennis, because you have to remember, they go to tournaments, they go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like it's beginning of the week, and if they do well, they go until the end of the week. Us, we play everything in one day, so it's not that bad for this reason. You're actually leaving for, if you're just playing 2 events, you're leaving for 3 days, pretty much 3 or 4 days, depending on how you want to do. But it's not as demanding and not as much travel as tennis. And tennis players play in general, they have at least 18 tournaments, most pros, unless you're Roger Federer. But most of the pros have 18 and over. Sometimes they have up to 28 tournaments, 30 tournaments. So I think we're going to get there where pros are going to be taking the sport very, very seriously and playing as much as possible, and while maintaining a healthy position. You don't want to play too much and then hurt yourself, but you want to find that balance where you're playing as much as possible while performing. And I think we're getting there. We have the both tours like giving that opportunity as well to play as much as you want. And I think we're all going to reassess and see what works for us. But I think on the future, 18 tournament will be definitely the minimum of tournament that players will play.
Okay. So looking 2-3 years in the future? I know you said you only like to plan 6 months out, right? But let's fast
Yeah.
forward 2-3 years. Where do you see yourself in the whole world of pickleball at that point?
Well, it really depends on how the sport grows. I mean, it's growing so fast already. In Europe, they're really making a push right now as well. So I think we will have more tournaments internationally and things like that. So I don't know how much I will be traveling. I don't know how many players are going to be involved. I'm sure like the competition is getting better and better. Every tournament we see new faces, new players that are trying to get into the sport, but they're not there yet, but they're still good and getting better. So I don't know. I mean, who knows? I'm just gonna try to be as fit as possible and keeping improving and hopefully be there as long as possible.
I like it. It's a good answer. Just like Webby, do you have a good answer to the question of who has the best question, or you still sorting through it? Where are we at with that?
I got to admit, it was not easy, but I was able to determine a winner.
Ooh.
There was one person
The winner?
in particular. He gave us a bunch of questions. I actually asked a couple of his earlier, and he submitted a whole bunch more that I didn't get to, that were great also. And I do want to get to a couple more of them.
Okay.
But I think
Let's do it.
I'll announce the winner by showing one of his questions here. And this question comes from Chad
Suspense.
on YouTube, and he says, which would you like to do more, beat Ben at singles or beat Ben and Simone at mixed doubles?
Both. I would really enjoy beating Ben and Simone, just for the reason that they're very good. They're just the greatest right now. They're playing both unbelievable pickleball. They're super solid. They're great players, and even if they're not on their best day, they're still the team to beat. They find ways to win. So I think it would be a great performance from my part if I manage to do that. So yeah, I think Ben and Simone might be better than singles because I've played Ben several times in singles. I've been able to take a set on him and probably get closer than what I've been in mix. So I feel like mix would be more rewardful.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good answer because, I feel like the team of Simone and Ben are like unstoppable. So if you could do that, the first team that does that, I think is going to be definitely going to make a name for themselves. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Chad. You are the winner of the paddle. And like I said, he answered a bunch here. He submitted a bunch of questions, a lot of great ones. So yes, congratulations, Chad. And I do want to show one more question from Chad. And this is another very serious one, a very great one. And he says, Kyle Yates took down Eddie and Webby in a cutthroat match. Do you think you could do the same, but left-handed?
Oh.
So 2 versus 1, Eddie and Webby versus Jay, but you would be left-handed. Do you think you could pull out a victory?
I don't know. I would have to see more. I actually never seen Webby play, so I can't. I would love to tell you yes, Chad. I would love to tell you yes, but I don't know. I haven't seen the competition, so I can't. I can't make my my prediction. But I would love to try. I tell you what, I would love to try. We could make that happen.
I think we should make that happen.
We should definitely make that happen. But I will tell you this: don't watch the most recent match I did with John Sincola, and don't watch the match that Eddie and I did against Kyle Yates, because neither one of us are those same players. I am not the same player I was 2 weeks ago. Or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I would love to take that challenge if you're willing to accept. So maybe we'll find out, Chad. But yeah, congrats, Chad. Chad is the winner. Let's see that paddle again. Let's show everybody the paddle that Chad is gonna have in his possession in the near future. So nice. Congratulations, Chad. And that just shows it pays to tune in to the Eddie and Webby show live and interact, because Chad has a new paddle. So Chad, if you could please send us an email with your contact information, because I know you are on YouTube. It's not as easy to send direct messages on YouTube. So please send us an email or a direct message on Facebook with your details, and we'll make sure to get that to you.
Yes. Congratulations, Chad. And thanks again, Jay. Thanks again, Vulcan, for giving away that paddle. And Jay, like with every one of our guests, we always give them an opportunity to shout out any of their sponsors, talk about anything kind of coming up for them. So this is your opportunity to do that.
Yeah, no, I will definitely give a shout out to Vulcan. They have been treating me very, very well since the start. Like I feel like I've said it in a lot of interviews. I feel like it's a small family, and they make that happen. You know, they create that atmosphere. Oops. And can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep. You're back.
Yeah. Sorry. And no, I feel like it's been great, and I'm very thankful to be part of Team Vulcan. They're great people, and I just love to be there representing them, and they're always here to support us, whether it's Tyler, Corinne, Danielle, Alex, Hamner. So we are just a small family working together, and I love that. I also want to give a shout out to BRD Sport. Nina Bard has been great to me as well, providing me ankle braces and wrist brace. I think Webby has one as well. But I really like the product.
Yeah, I actually have it right
here.
here.
You go.
Nina recently was generous enough to send me this because I've been wearing their knee braces for a while. I absolutely love their knee braces. They help with my knee problems big time. So I started wearing the wrist one, which she actually said you played a part in designing this particular one. Is that right? Like the color combination and stuff?
The color mostly than the product itself. Yeah. You know, I love blue. This is me. I like blue. I didn't like green too much, so she sent me green and orange, and I was like, "Do you have blue by any chance?" Like, well, we don't do blue, but we'll do one for you. So they did, and so again, it's a great brand, and they have been very nice in helping me for my career, and I'm just happy to have them, and also Lasso that provides me socks, supportive socks as well. So I'm just very happy and feeling blessed to be able to do things that I do love, which is competing and hopefully being able to stay on top of the game and getting better every day. So
that's great. Well, I got to say, man, it was awesome getting a chance to hang out with you tonight. I can't believe the amount of questions that came in on social media. That was unreal. Obviously, you're making a huge impact in the pickleball world, and people like to watch you play. But I think it's also you do have that, that kind of positive energy out on the court and off the court. That's, it's contagious, and so it shows with the amount of reactions we've had tonight. So, thank you for that. It's been awesome having you on the show. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see you again here in the near future. Any closing thoughts, Jay, before you go?
Well, no. Thank you so much for having me. It was really a pleasure and a lot of fun. So, anytime you want me to be back, I will. But I want to make sure next time that we have played that game where I actually had a chance to beat you with my left hand.
Well, you got to remember, I'm stuck with Webby, so.
I know. I heard he's a weak link. My strategy is already like everything to Webby. So I mean.
Hey, not everybody has Simone training them, so come on.
But we need to record that game. And if I win, we publish. If I lose, we don't. We just delete the content.
Oh no, it gets published no matter what.
Yeah, no, just tell them that we won't, and then we'll.
I mean, we will delete it. We will delete it if you win. I mean, we'll delete it if you lose.
Of course.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks again, Jay. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to do that competition soon when we start traveling again and things open up. And when we have Patrick on the show, I'm hoping you'd be willing to submit a few questions, just like we gave him the opportunity to ask you. Maybe you could ask a few for him too.
Maybe. Depends on the. No, of course I would. Just let me know when he comes to the show, and I will make those questions for sure.
Awesome. Sounds good, man. Thanks again, Jay. Hope you have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
We'll see you.
All right, have a good one. Man, such a great guy.
So good. Yep.
He's such a nice, classy guy. I love that we had him on here.
Well, it's funny that he mentioned that, he's a very positive guy, because I didn't know if that was intentional or if that was just kind of his natural personality. But, I've been around him now at a few different tournaments, and on the court, obviously, he's a lot of fun to watch. He's passionate, but you can also tell that he has a good time out there. And then if you see him on the side, he's joking around, he's having fun. And I like that. I think that the sport needs more of that. I'm not saying that there's a lack of it, but I'm saying I think more people like him is really good for the sport.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And the first time I ever met him and saw him play in person was at last year's Florida Grand Slam. But the time that I really got to talk to him and really get to know him was when you and I were together at the APP bus tour in Grand Rapids. Yeah, such a nice guy, and it's awesome to watch him play. He's super, super talented. But yeah, like you said, like the sport of pickleball is definitely better because of pros like him.
Yeah, 100%. If you guys have ever watched him play, you definitely need to check it out. It's a good time. Both singles, mixed doubles, and men's doubles. You can tell that him and Patrick Smith have a good time out there as well. So definitely a lot of fun. Big thank you again to Jay and Vulcan for having giving the paddle as a giveaway. Congratulations again to Chad. As we mentioned before, go ahead and shoot us an email or send us a direct message on Facebook with your address and everything, and we'll make sure we get that paddle out to you. Anything else we want to talk about tonight, Webby?
Oh man, I feel like we have a lot of catching up to do, but we'll save that for a future episode. But I do want to tell everybody that for the first time ever, we're doing another Eddie and Webby pickleball show tomorrow night.
Back
same time.
to back.
That's right. Same time, same place, different guest. So be sure to tune in once again. You never know what's going to happen. It's sure to be a very fun one. But for tonight, I think that's probably going to be a wrap.
Well, guys, this was episode number 84, which means there's 84 of you guys out there still listening right now. And guess what? We appreciate you very much. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.